I'm live. Good morning. November 6th, 7:11 a.m. here on the East Coast. President-elect Trump. Learn to deal with that. Learn to cope. Liberals going to have a hard time these next few days. Whenever Kamala gives that speech, concession speech, there's going to be lots of liberal tears. And I feel bad for the normie liberal voter. You've been lied to. you know, you were lied to about Trump being Hitler. I've been checking out the MSNBC feed. I think I went to sleep probably slightly after midnight. Woke up like 5:30, so I got to see Maddow and her crew. I got to see Saki and the crew. Then I got to see the morning show crew. And what I'm actually noticing is there's no meltdown. Nobody's really melting down. Some people have come on and they had like childish takes, like, what does it say about America? Trying to say, oh, still not ready for a woman. Oh, there's misogyny. Oh, anti-black. Al Sharpton on here, race hustler. But for the most part, the hosts have been very mature. No more rhetoric about Hitler and this and that, because they know that Trump is no Hitler. You can say lots of things about him that are negative, but they ran on lies. They ran on fear of the other without offering people anything for their vote. They were not going to be able to keep together the coalition that elected Biden over Trump. You don't get to fund a proxy war, fund what's going on in Gaza, and not break your coalition. There were reasons to break the coalition before Gaza, but Gaza was certainly a straw that broke the camel's back. And I did waver on. I actually thought Trump would do better than what he did. He won. I think he won all the swing states, he's going to win all the swing states. But I thought he could peel off some light blue states, and I haven't seen that from the coverage that I've seen. He came close in Illinois. I think less than 5 points. So that's really impressive. But I thought he might actually be able to flip one of those in Illinois or in New Jersey, something like that. And that did not happen. But the Democratic Party deserves to die. They deserve to be replaced. They should be replaced. If we had good sense, we would replace them with the Greens. The Green Party is everything that the Democrats claim to be, as far as their platform and what they stand for. And I don't know if we'll be able to do that, because at the end of the day, the Democrats are a corporate party. They're held up by the media. They're held up by billionaire donors. They're held up by being just a legacy party, but they deserve to die. 3 straight rigged primaries. They cleared the field for Hillary, except nobody sent Bernie the memo back in 2016. And there was one other guy, but it was essentially a cleared field. Like, she was like being anointed. You're from the Royal Clinton dynasty. It is your turn to reign on the throne, Madam Clinton. And about half the country had other ideas, right? A very unpopular figure. At that point, those were the two worst candidates that had ever run for office, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Well, the Republicans kept on sending Trump back out there, and the Democrats kept on sending worse candidates out. And even though Joe Biden's probably worse, or maybe just the same as Hillary Clinton, after a chaotic first 4 years under Trump, a coalition had formed that got Biden over the finish line just barely. And then we got to see Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in action. And those of us who voted for Biden, even before, the Gaza red line, were already wavering. And some of us had already decided that, hey, man, the promises that were made were not kept. And, many of us had already abandoned ship and said, hey, man, there's just no saving these two parties. We need to move on. We need to move to what's next. And so that's how you end up with President-elect Trump. I'm thankful. If you saw any of my other videos, if you ever seen them, you will see that I did have a true legitimate concern. Like, man, what would it say if we provided a mandate for a genocide? What would it say about us if we've seen what we saw from the Biden-Harris administration? If we approved, if we endorsed by sending them back in office after all that they've done, I thought it would have been horrible. And so I'm extremely happy that she lost. Not happy that Trump is the president, but happy that she lost. But at the end of the day, we were going to have to fight whichever one of them got into office, and now we know who we have to fight for the next 4 years. We know who we're going to have to resist, right? Hopefully, after liberals get out of their feelings, they will get back in the game, and hopefully this time we can convince them not to go back to the Democrats once the next elections are occurring. We need to organize and demand better from the people who want to be our elected representatives. This should be the death of running on not being your opponent. Hopefully, this is the death of that. I mean, that's what Kamala Harris's whole campaign boiled down to. I'm not Joe Biden, but I'm also not Donald Trump. Vote for me. Hopefully, it's the death of that. I thought it was terrible politics. I thought she ran an uninspiring campaign, and she deserved to lose. And so I'm happy that happened. I can't even remember all what I wrote in my spiel, but read it. I don't believe Trump is going to have a very successful presidency. I think that he'll get a lot of pushback from his own party, but definitely from the phonies in the Democratic Party, because now they can pretend to care about things like genocide and government waste and mistreating immigrants. They can pretend to care about these things. When Biden was in office, the few Democrats that would ever push back on what he was doing, look at Cori Bush, look at Jamal Bowman, knocked out before election day, couldn't get past primary challenges, right? So we see how their party politics will take care of those who try to push them left from the inside. There's no inside game with the Democrats. There's no getting better people in there. They get absorbed in that blob and they start sounding just like Nancy Pelosi, AOC. they get in there, and they must be taking some devil's bargain, right? So we need to replace them. Hopefully we can convince liberals that that it was a failed experience. Progressives, right? Hopefully we can convince progressives that the squad was a failed experiment. We got to see over the last 4 years, or even more than that, but we got to see when the liberals would not force the vote, when they wouldn't pressure Nancy Pelosi to bring meaningful legislation to the floor for a vote in exchange for their vote for her for speaker. And then we got the slap in the face to see the Republican equivalent of the squad, people like what's his name, Matt Gaetz and Lauren Boebert, forced to vote on their speaker and actually call him on it, and call back Kevin McCarthy, right? Make him make deals that made it easier for them to hold him accountable. And then when he didn't do what was on their agenda, they didn't just like they did not wield the sword in vain. They used it. They took him out of the paint. So we got to see that it can be done. It's just that for whatever reason, the Democrats have a firm grip on the politicians who run. That they do something that makes their politicians less willing to buck the system. I don't know if it's that they just show them all the people that they've removed in the past, the Dennis Kuciniches of the world, just gerrymander, just saying, hey, look at all these people. Now they'll be able to also add Jamal Bowman and Corey Bush to say, hey, you want to be the next Corey Bush? You got in here. Yeah, you might be some hot stuff, right? But are you really going to try to go against us? Are you going to think you're going to deliver on those things, those progressive policies that you told your base? Do you want to be the next Corey Bush, Jamal Bowman? Do you want us to have to gerrymander your district so that you don't have a district? Essentially, somebody who's senior to you, more popular than you, your house all of a sudden ends up in the same district with them, and now it's only one of the two of you who's going to be able to represent your constituency. Who you think they're going to pick? Right? These must be the dirty tactics that Democrats use to keep their people in line. And I'm glad that we, the American people, are starting to reject that, right? We're starting to reject being insulted and lied to. The fact that in this bourgeois democracy, they wouldn't even allow us to have a selection of the nominee. It's just like, man, it's just like, how much more could they expect for us to take? And I'm glad that we've decided that we're no longer going to take that. And so I'm happy that she lost. And still, there's going to be a fight. There's going to be a fight to get Trump to actually live up to what he says. He told, his message was always more hopeful than Kamala's. His message was about, saving the working class, making America great. Whatever you think about that, some people automatically assume, oh, racism, but his message has the hopeful tone of it. And their message was essentially, I'm not him. And so hopefully they will get the message that that's no longer acceptable and play by the rules of, if you want my vote, you need to do something for my vote. And if they don't, which I don't believe that they will, we need to replace them. We need to allow them to die, and we need to replace them. They have run over and over again on being less afraid of losing than their constituency. And that is just not simpatico. That is no bueno. And so they can eat it. I don't feel for those elites. They lied to you. They put you in a frenzy. Calling Trump Hitler, and I'm looking I'm I was actually looking to see if there would be like some kind of like visible meltdowns on MSNBC, and they were all just cool as a gumbo. They're laughing. They seem like they're having a relatively good time. They're having to eat their bad takes, but they're in stride. Like I mean, these are people who told us that Trump re-winning is the end of democracy. Man, they're not acting like it. They are not acting like it. It's amazing. So there you have it. You were lied to, uh, and I'm just thankful that we didn't provide a mandate for genocide. I'm glad we didn't provide a mandate for no democracy, which is what they were. While they said they were saving democracy, again, Kamala Harris received no votes to become the Democratic nominee. So I'm extremely happy that we let her lose. May I be send a message to them that they have to make changes. I doubt it. I think they just need to be replaced. I'm repeating myself already. You're repeating yourself already. That's all I got. I got to get to work. God bless all, and just know that if we stick together, if we come together, if we organize together, we can and will prevail over this next administration, right? We can force their hand to enact the will of the people. Trump seems to me to be somebody who's very amenable. Right? He get enough pressure, he don't like it, he'll change up. And so we just have to apply pressure to him. I feel like Trump is more persuadable than what Biden and Harris showed us they are. So we have a fight on our hands, and we have to just organize and be ready and go out there and fight a good fight. So prosperity to you all, and hope you all have a great day.